All right, this starts the review for Part 5 for Mastery Test 1B, which you're going to be taking here. Now these are more equivalent fraction problems. What we're going to do here is write each equation so it starts with the fraction that has the smaller numbers. Okay, we want to figure out what fraction that equals 1 did we multiply by to get these fractions. So I'm going to take A, and we're going to do it down here so we have some more room. Okay, now it says start with the fraction that has the smaller numbers. So in A, the 3/5 has the smaller numbers. Now I want to figure out what fraction I multiply that by to get 12/20. Okay, so then I just think to myself, 3 times what equals 12? Well, 3 times 4 equals 12. And then I just check the bottom to make sure that holds true for the bottom. So on the bottom, 5 times what equals 20? Well, 5 times 4 equals 20. Okay, I'm just going to continue to do that. So for B, start with the fraction that has the smaller numbers, so that would be the 9/5. I'm going to do my parentheses for the fraction that equals 1, and it's 45/25. So I'm trying to figure out what fraction do I multiply 9/5 by to get 45/25. Well, 9 times 5 is 45. 5 times 5 is 25. So 5/5 would be the fraction that equals 1/3. Okay, so you should be able to go ahead and finish C, D, E, F, and G. There's also a back side to this page for Part 5. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now if I look at the top ones here in A, we've got to fill in the missing parts. Okay? So what I could look at is the top, because I know I've got 3 times something is going to equal 15. I'll just rewrite it here so we can see it filled in here. So I just look at that and I say, well, 3 times 5 equals 15. Now if they're equivalent fractions, that means if the top one's 5, then I have to multiply the bottom one by 5 as well, because 5/5 is equal to 1, and to have equivalent fractions, we got to multiply by a fraction that's equal to 1. So now I just do 4 times 5, and I get my 20. So now I have all the missing pieces filled in. Now, we're doing the same type of thing at the bottom here. Okay, we've got one piece missing, but it says to write the complete equivalent fraction equation for each item. Show the fraction you multiply by. So we're taking the 2/3. I'm going to put parentheses for the fraction that I'm multiplying it by, and it's going to equal 14 over something. So I look at the top and I say, well, 2 times 7 is going to equal 14. Well, if my top number there is 7, my bottom number will be 7. Because this fraction has to equal 1. 3 times 7 is 21. So there we have written the complete equivalent fraction equation for that. I'll do one more here with you. For B, we've got 7/8. I'm taking that times some fraction that equals 1. And that's going to equal something over 24. Well, I look on the bottom, 8 times something is 24. Well, that something is 3. If the bottom is 3, the top has to be 3, so that fraction equals 1. And then 7 times 3 is 21. So 7/8 equals 21 over 24. Okay, go ahead and finish the rest of those. Remember to get them all checked to make sure they're all right before moving on to another part.